Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Feed the Beast. This is my Rebuild of Feed the Beast series, and we are on episode 3, I believe. Today we've got a couple of things to talk about. First of all, we had a world reset. So the last 2 episodes have been on a completely different world than what we'll be on going forward, and the reason we changed it is because a more stable version of the mod pack was released, the 0.5 version. And when we upgraded, we realized we didn't want to keep Darkcraft. It was kind of gimmicky. This version had Mistcraft and Soul Shards, and we decided, you know what, let's just dump what we had before and start a new world and start from the beginning. And that's what we did. And this is where we're at a couple of days in. So it's already gone pretty smoothly. We've done a lot around here. But really, I'm not any further than I was last time. I'm with Parcel once again. He's over there mining chopping down some trees. He's trying to set up some rubber trees, which we'll talk about today. So here's the base we're working with now. We've got a lot of things going on in here, but it's actually not too much different than what we had before in my island, or at my island. Now I still intend to get away from this base building that we have set up here, which is I want to be on my own, doing my own thing. I've got an idea for a base. I still want to do that. But for right now, I'm kind of collaborating just to get things going, and I'll be splitting off fairly soon. I just need to get basically some starter items, and then I'll be jumping ship. So that's all great. Today, basically last episode I talked about thermal expansion. Today I'm going to talk about industrial craft and getting started with that as well. So with thermal expansion, we've got really everything going on over here that we've talked about before. Like, we've got the pulverizer, the powered furnace, the induction smelter, the magma crucible, and the liquid transposer. And then we have a cyclic assembler, etc. A bunch of things that we don't really need to worry about. We've got 3 different engines over here. A Stirling engine, a commercial steam engine, which is running pretty nice. How much is it outputting? 4 MJs per tick? That's not bad. And a magmatic engine. And we have a rolling machine. So these are the 5 basic machines that I talked about last episode, and we pretty much got right to them early on and have been using them since. We've also been using coke ovens to create sugar coke. This is what we use in place of coal, and we're using it mostly in the generators right now. So to make this, actually I'll talk about this first. This stuff is, what is this? Gelatinous slime. I don't even know where this came from. Huh. Anyways, if we get some reeds here, we can come over and look at the coke oven. Basically, turn the reeds, or the sugar cane, into sugar, put it in your coke oven, and it'll turn that into sugar charcoal. You take the sugar charcoal, you put it back in the coke oven, or in my case, another coke oven, and it turns it into sugar coke. Sugar coke simply burns like coal, and it's essentially free because it's growing. We can, come out here and chop down as many of these sugar canes as we want, turn them into sugar, and then create coal with it. It just takes time. And if there's one thing we have in Minecraft, it's usually a lot of time. And especially on a server that runs 24/7, we can just let them sit in there overnight, get about a stack, and switch them out, and it works really well. Now this back here, this is what we're using for the steam power. These are these are mirrors, I believe. If you look them up, they are mirror. Yep, they're these guys right here. They're made with silver ingots surrounding a glass pane, and it uses a fair amount of them, so that's a fair amount of silver. But they all go into this solar turbine, or I think it is solar boiler, which boils the water beneath it, turns that into steam, and it sends the steam through a liquiduct into our commercial steam engine, which outputs 4 MJs per tick. So that is neat. Definitely a good way of generating power. Admittedly, it only works during the day, but it's still not bad. So that's kind of our current power situation. We're not really using the Stirling engine anymore, not really using the magmatic engine anymore. going steam power seems to be the way to go, at least right now. So again, here we are with Industrial Craft. This is the other really big mod that I like to get started with that kind of lets you build infrastructure. You've got Buildcraft Thermal Expansion, and then you've got Industrial Craft Greg Tech, and that lets you do a whole lot of things. Industrial Craft and Greg Tech is a lot more complicated. Greg Tech may be the most complicated mod in here, except maybe things like Farmcraft and Bees. Uh, it's extremely tiered, as in you have a set of machines that you can make now, and then you need a machine in order to make all these other things, and everything builds on each other. And I talked about this, I think, in my last world too. It's the same basic principle. You have an energy generating machine that sends power to machines that serve some sort of function. In this case, we have the extractor and the compressor, but there's 2 more machines we can need to make to have our 4 basic machines. So Industrial Craft has 5 basic machines, or excuse me, Thermal Expansion has 5 basic machines, Industrial Craft has 4 basic machines. They are the macerator, electric furnace, the extractor, and the compressor. So we're going to make the macerator now, because I don't think you can make, and this will change my opinion on things depending on how this works, I don't think you can make coal dust without... Oh no, you can make it from a pulverizer. Oh. Okay, never mind. So you don't even need to make a macerator. That's a good sign. We definitely like that. So if you're going thermal expansion, your basic machines are essentially an extractor and a compressor. The extractor lets you get more rubber per sticky resin. And sticky resin we get from... We get one of these tree taps, and I'm going to go ahead and wear this because someone threw it at me. I might as well use it. Sticky resin we get from these trees. These are rubber trees, and they've been cut down. There's some full-size ones somewhere. But on the trunk, you'll find some sticky resin. So you pull the sticky resin off, and it makes a little noise. For some reason, the Industrial Craft sounds are on. This is actually a complete tree. You can tell by the little 2-block leaves on the top and the darker trunk. And let's see, where are you? You're not even down there. How about this one? Oh. So you take the tree tap, you right click on the trees, you get some sticky resin. Take the sticky resin back. And put in the extractor. Now you can take this and put it into, and you'll have to when you get started, a furnace, and it'll smelt 1 sticky resin into 1 rubber. An extractor turns 1 sticky resin into 3 rubber, so once you get the extractor, you're good to go, essentially, for rubber, as long as you go out and get some rubber. At least for the immediate time, right away, you're usually pretty good. And this is a plate bending machine. This is important too. I guess he made one. We'll talk about that in a second. So with the extractor in here, it's now a question of, or it's not a question of how much rubber we have, it's a question of how much wiring we have. So rubber tech usually is used to make wires and all sorts of different wires that we have. So if we look at the uses of rubber, hopefully it'll show me. There we go. Let's see. Rubber's used a lot in Mine Factory Reloaded as well. You can smelt it into the plastic. But in Shapeless IC2 crafting, we can create copper cable with it, insulated gold cable, insulated HV cable, some hazmat items, rubber boots, night vision goggles. I didn't even know those were a thing. That's pretty cool. Oh, they take these though. These take diamonds, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they do. Or twice insulated gold cable. I didn't even know this was a recipe. Well, today I learned. or you can use them to create other different kinds of wires. These wires are really important. Everything from your basic, very basic copper wire to, okay, that's important too. Uh, everything from copper wire to gold to your really high voltage wires. Those are important. We're going to use rubber for them. And that's actually what this is. This is copper wire. So copper wire transfers power from industrial craft machines. So with thermal expansion and buildcraft, we have the energy conduits, the redstone energy conduits to transfer power. With industrial craft, we have these wires. Copper wires is the lowest base level wire, and it simply takes 6 rubber and 3 iron, or excuse me, copper to make. Less if you use a wiring machine. So, the next step, I guess, from here is to start building our advanced machines, and we need the compressor, we need the plate assembling or plate bending machine, and finally the assembling machine to make all these things. And that's actually probably the first thing we're going to make is the solar panel. So a solar panel, actually we might not be able to make this. Oh no, we can't make this because it takes, because it takes silicon cells. Never mind. I actually need to make a jetpack, like he has here. So I'm probably going to make one. Let me get the stuff together and then I'll show the crafting recipe for it, because I'm sure most of you guys know how to make it, but I'd like to get that on camera anyways. Alright, here we go. So here's an industrial craft recipe from scratch for those who are interested in what exactly this looks like. So the first thing we need to make is the bat box, I guess. We're going to need 3 RE batteries, copper cable, and then 6 planks of any type. So we're going to go ahead and make 2 sets of, or one set at least, of the, oh wow, it crafted that into uninsulated copper cable when I didn't want it to. I wasn't expecting that to happen. It shouldn't have happened, and yet it did. We'll go ahead and craft 12 copper cable. We're going to use them up. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got 3 tin, and then put the copper cable here. And then this lets us make the RE batteries. We want 3 of these guys. And get some more wood. Wood goes here. RE batteries go here, and then put the copper cable down to make a bat box. Now this over here is a bat box. It just stores EU, 40,000 of it. EU being the energy units that Industrial Craft uses. We need this just as a component of this recipe. The next thing we have to do is make an advanced electronic circuit, which requires first an electronic circuit, and I'm 1 refined iron short. Alright. And this is simply made by 6 copper cable, 2 redstone, and 1 refined iron to make an electronic circuit. Very important component of a lot of crafting recipes in Industrial Craft. And then we've got to turn it into an advanced one. So we use 2 lapis, 2 glowstone, and 4 redstone. We create an advanced circuit. So we've got the advanced circuit, we've got the bat box. We can now configure these for our recipe. If I have my refined iron, which I do. And lastly, we need the glowstone dust, and this is an electric jetpack. So, as you can see from the UI, it takes 30,000 EU for a full charge. I can't equip it and go anywhere with it yet because I don't have anywhere near that amount. So I'm going to throw it in here and drain a lot of power. He must be crafting something. I don't know what. Curious to see what comes out of here. And this is draining a lot of the bat box's power, but we should be fine. This can hold up to 75% of the bat box's total amount. And there we go. That's a fully charged electric jetpack. So throw it on as the chest plate armor piece, and we have flight. The jetpack's pretty easy to make as long as you have an extractor and really any sort of generator setup. No problem. You don't even need a compressor for it. You only need really 3 machines. Some way to charge it, of course, is probably going to be necessary, and a bat box will be fine. You've got to make at least 1 bat box for this recipe. Why do I have this in hand? Huh. Am I in cheat mode? No, I'm on recipe mode. Weird. I'll have to watch that video. I want to see what happened there. So that's that. I think the next step for us, and an industrial craft line. Let's see, did he actually craft whatever it is he's crafting? I don't know. This thing has almost 300 recipes, 300 things that it can produce. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, we could be here for a while. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff in there. Jeez. So that's industrial craft, early industrial craft stuff for you, I guess. And the compressor we can use to compress certain things. They don't really have any of the useful recipes. Unnamed, creates compressed plants. Alright, so I'll think about something next to do. What's our next step here, and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so I decided on my next step and a little bit more of kind of what I want to do overall here. I'd like to get to solar power before I jump to my next base, and I think solar will be a fun way to move and then kind of hold on to solar as I explore other mods. That way I don't have to deal with the upkeep of some of the other methods of generating power. In the meantime, we've got to jump to our next power source because this isn't going to be enough to do everything we want to do, especially as we need the industrial blast furnace to even get to solar. So we've got a bit of a ways to go here. Now, one of the quick and easy ways to get energy is to use lava. Lava generates a ton of energy in geothermal generators. So if we look up geothermal generators, a geothermal generator will turn 1 bucket of lava into 20, I want to say 20,000 EU and output it at a rate of 20 EU per tick. A thermal generator is even more efficient, and that outputs 24 EU per tick, and it turns a bucket of lava into about 30,000, I believe. 30,000 EU. So it's a bit more efficient, and you actually use it. It's basically an upgraded version of the geothermal generator. So to get this lava, we're going to have to use... I need tin. To get this lava, we're going to have to use a couple of different things. This is the classic Nether Pump method of collecting lava, although I don't know if I'll jump into the Nether quite yet. Nope. I need 2 tin. Nope, they go here. I need you, and we're going to build a thermal expansion item called the Tesseract, and this is going to be a liquid Tesseract. Oop, missing some copper. There we go. Okay. Oh, they don't stack now. So these actually have changed since the last version I played with them. Now that we've got our Tesseracts, we can transmit liquids between 2 points wirelessly, essentially, without pipes. But we do need a means of getting the lava in the first place, and to do that, we're going to need a pump. There's a couple of different pumps, but the main one we'll want is this one. This is the Buildcraft pump. I believe it's the Buildcraft pump. To make that, it's simply a mining well, and then this guy up here, which I'll go ahead and grab. So we need to make a mining well. That takes just a bunch of iron, basically. Go over to here, and we need first one of you, wooden gear. Need some cobblestone. Oh, he moved it. It was in there. Do we have cobblestone? Do we have cobblestone? There it is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. No more searching for items. I should have everything. Okay, so we create a stone gear. Then we got to create an iron gear. Simple enough. We need an iron pickaxe. A full one, even though I have one. I need another one. And we do you and you. And then we run each side with some iron, and we create a mining well. These are actually really cool. This is what I think I showed off last episode. But we're going to add a tank to it and turn it into a pump. So that's exactly what we want there. The next thing we'll need is a magmatic engine, which I'll go ahead and grab. And lastly, we will need a redstone energy conduit, or a pair of them if we can. I don't know if we have any on hand. It doesn't look like we do. So might want to make some. And I think I have electrum. Okay, so let's look up redstone energy conduit. And takes 2 electrum and 1 hardened glass. I don't think I have the hardened glass for that either. And I don't have the obsidian on hand. Crap. Oh, these are interesting. He's already going MFR. We'll be looking at that later. I would like to... I'm going to go off here and get the stuff I need to make the rest of it, and then I'll probably meet up with you guys underground. So that's where we'll be. Alright, here we go. I think I've got everything that I need now. So let's check it out down here. I guess this lava pool is probably as good a place as any to begin. I don't know if there's a whole lot in here. I guess if there isn't, we'll find out pretty quick. So, probably gonna break you and you. There's some ferrous ore in here. I don't have any... Okay. It doesn't matter too much. So, what we want to do is put down the pump. And then, I guess, dig around it. Alright, and we put a liquid tesseract right on top of it. Put the magmatic engine right here. And then these guys like this. And then we'll take our wrench, turn the magmatic engine, switch the redstone energy conduit to output on this side, and create a new tesseract function. So I've got the opportunity here to create the first public tesseract channel. I'm just going to call it tesseract 1, and this is going to be geothermal lava. I'm going to save this as a frequency, and this will be configuration. It's going to send only, and I'll put it on public access so anyone can access this frequency. Alright, there we are. We are on geothermal 1. So, that means that any lava that enters this tesseract will be sent to any other tesseracts that are on that frequency, that are set to either receive or send and receive. The pump is going to basically start to get some lava here. As soon as I give it a little bit of power, I've got to get this magmatic engine power first. Now it's going to start sucking up lava. And it probably already has, or it will, or it should. Or it's not going to give me lava. What's going on here? Don't tell me this configuration doesn't work anymore. Alright, what's going on here? You should be filling up with lava by the buckets. This is interesting. This configuration has always worked for me. Very, very interesting. I wonder if they changed it so that maybe the pumps... I'm going to play with this a little bit and we'll see. I'm going to try to figure out why this isn't working like it always has in the past. Alright, so I think I figured out my problems with my lava pump. And now I'm probably going to wrap up the episode here and kind of review where I'm at right now. I'm in this mod's version of the Nether. It's a little different. There's some new blocks and these really cool transparent mushrooms. The Nether ores mod is of course on, so we've got Nether ores and lots of cool things. But this is probably the most useful thing you can make on here, at least early mid game. This is my Nether lava pump. So it's a couple of different pieces here. We have first, this is a Buildcraft pump, this white block. This will pump up any liquid, and you can see that it's got this yellow-black jacketed wire, or jacketed tube, that goes all the way down into the lava, and it's actually sucking up the lava in the area. You can see very faintly where the lava has been drained. So that's where source blocks are missing. It's not draining a whole lot right now. There's a lot to pick up still, and we're not using much of it. But with this chunk loader here, I'm able to keep this area rendered permanently. It's always in render, even when I leave this area. And if we show the lasers, it shows me that this area is being kept in memory, even after I leave it. Now the next component is the liquiduct, which sends the lava that's being pumped out of this to the magmatic engine and to the liquid tesseract here. And then we have the Redstone energy conduits, which is sending power from the magmatic engine back to the pump. So as I talked about earlier with tesseracts, you can send liquids wirelessly using a liquid tesseract, and as long as they're on the same frequency, you can draw whatever liquids are going between them from anywhere in the world, even between dimensions. So this tesseract is tied to the tesseract that's in the Nether, and it's outputting that lava. You can see it being outputted from this liquiduct here. So this is actually coming from the Nether. This is the liquid from this guy here, the lava, is going to somewhere over here. This is something Parcel created. Yeah, you can see the lava down there being sent to a geothermal generator, yep. And then it's powering a harvester, and I believe it's also powering this planter. Yeah, it is, okay. These are Mine Factory Reloaded things. We'll get to that at some point. This is basically a tree farm. It's outputting a lot of logs right now, which is pretty cool. It's a lot of stuff. So, of course, with industrial craft in mind, this lava is also being sent right to this geothermal generator, which turns lava into EU at a rate which I think I discussed before, and that sends it to all of our machines. And the next step, of course, is probably to turn these geothermal generators into thermal generators, which are a little bit stronger, a little bit more efficient, and they output faster. But right now, I don't really have a reason to do that. I'm going to make some more geothermal generators probably next, and go from there. As we move forward, trying to get to an industrial blast furnace. But I think that's it for today. I know I didn't do a whole lot. Just kind of talked again. I'm getting right now some more stone. This guy over here is just producing stone, so that eventually I can go build my base again. I found a pretty good spot for it, so I think I'm going to go out there soon enough. And I think next time I'll be expanding this machine. Oh, my invar plates are done. And talking a little bit more about the Greg Tech side of industrial craft, which is very complex, and there's a lot to it, but it's pretty rewarding once you get towards the end of it. So, yep, that's about it for me. I hope you guys continue to enjoy. Sorry about the reset. I wish we could have kept the other world, but this was just a way better option once things kind of went down the way they went down. And yeah, let me know what you think as always, and until next time then.